Well, good morning. Welcome back to Sawmill. My name is Bill. This is Pirate Solutions Forestry, and we have been chainsaw milling this big old pine to deliver some pine slabs to my slab guy. In case any of you want to look him up, it's called Plymouth Live Edge. He's in Pembroke, Massachusetts. His name is Thatcher Smith. He does a terrific job with slabs, kiln dried, monster, hardwoods, everything. And he buys pine slabs from me. So I pulled this big log, this big butt log out of the woods. I kind of keep my logs that are too big to go on the sawmill or have some problem with them to keep them from going on the sawmill separate. And then pull them out from time to time when I think that they can fit a job. Well, in this case, it's big, huge monster slabs for Thatcher. So I decided that I just got back from Ontario, from Norwood, and I wanted to try to make a little bit of money back for my trip. So it's kind of a quick turnover. Mill them, take them up to him, I get paid. So I've got the stack of slabs that I've already milled that if you guys didn't watch the videos, go ahead and watch them. There was the Chainsaw 101, Chainsaw 101 Part 2, and two other little milling videos, milling slabs off this thing already. I've got stacked out of the sun over on the side over there. I'm going to take some more off it today, hopefully finish this thing today. I'm just not feeling all that great. It's kind of a little bit muggy out. It's not super hot, but it's a little muggy. It's threatening rain. Looks like the rain's missing me to the south, so I have a window, but I just don't feel great. Back hurts a little bit, blah, 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 blah. So the other night, before I put the mill away, I filed the whole chain, filed everything back over to 10 degrees because they kind of got a little wonky with me hitting them and touching them up. And I put all the depth gauges, rakers, drags, whatever you want to call them, back to 25,000. So it's all set up nice and perfect. It should cut this first cut anyway, really nice and smooth. I did find some big chunks of mud on this log underneath and on the end. I think I've addressed most of that, so I don't think it'll wipe this chain right away. I would really like to be able to make 3 cuts today. 3 cuts will get me really all of Thatcher's slabs, I think. And then I'm probably going to mill this thing out close to the bottom because his foot, if you didn't watch the video of me ripping the limb off this, you can watch that too. It's recent. This foot down here is pretty big. It's like as wide as the log. And I might get some neat little pieces out of that. Now, if I get down into a narrow thing, because it's going to start getting narrower as I go, that will fit on the sawmill, the band mill, I'll put it up on the band mill and mill the rest of it off, because if I have them around, people will buy them when they come out for craft wood and stuff like that. So anyway, I am going to get you guys set up over here. We're going to cold start the saw, fire it up, make a cut. It should go really smooth because I hit that chain up. And then fuel up, see if we can make a few cuts. I don't know how many cuts we'll make on this video, but we'll make at least the big one and see what's underneath this. It should be a beautiful slab, and you'll kind of get to see quality of cut, speed of cut. The only place where it's kind of maybe going to go like a little bit slow is right in the beginning, where it's like 46 inches wide, only for a foot or so, and then it should just barrel through the rest of this like nothing. So watch the other videos if you want to get an intro and what's going on with the saw and the chain and the setup and the whole 9 yards. And if you're just here to see cutting, it's about to happen right now. So I'll get you guys moved over. I was going to pause you, but I don't need to pause you. I'll just throw you over here so you can see the sawdust shooting out the side. Kind of set you up over here. I am getting down to pretty much crawling around now. I did consider putting this slab up on some sawhorses or something like that. However, it's not worth it. I've only got, 3 cuts. There won't be much of this log left. So I'll be able to crawl around for that. I might have to shoot some of my sawdust out of the way, but we'll deal with it. So let's get this thing fired up and warmed up just a teeny bit, and we'll get to milling. Get everything clean, everything ready to go. Clean air filter, oil, new mix gas, the whole 9 yards. Best starting saws in the world. Make sure my mic is not under my earbud. All right, we'll get a cut made here. We'll see how we do. Work on the good Lord's goodness. So far, it's going pretty smooth. Chain's pretty much self-feeding. It did bump into something underneath this thing right here, and it didn't like. Hopefully, that didn't do any chain harm. Let's get some oil flowing. And take it the rest of the way up. Well, I will tell you, that was not the most fun cut I've ever made. I don't know exactly what was going on, whether I hit something. We'll see when I take that slab off early. And we'll take a look at how much. I'll get you over here in a second. I just going to turn off my oil, see how much fuel's left, and that'll tell us a lot about that cut. That was a tough cut. Now, usually when the log starts tapering in on the side, on your drive side, your upright, your post, because of the way, the shape of it, it's a diamond shape. So it comes to the point on the inside, like you can kind of see right there. And that will rub on the log, and sometimes it makes the saw not move very well. You kind of have to keep pulling out and pushing forward with the butt of the saw. So, I would say that, whoops, looking at what's left in the tank here, it's just a little less than half tank, so that's consistent with what we've been seeing. However, that chain was just sharpened, so I would say it used a little bit more than it should have. Let me get my headphones off. We'll pull that slab off, and we'll see what's going on underneath. See if I hit some big chunk of metal or a rock or something in the beginning. It made it so hard to push. Usually on a fresh chain, it'll self-feed the whole way through. You're not pushing on it at all. I had to push on that one pretty hard. I'm not going to lie to you guys and tell you something other than, all right, well, I see why it cut so hard down here. I'll let you see it in a minute. There's a huge caramelized pitch pocket down there. That's like a piece of epoxy. That's what happens. Maybe it was like that yeah, it's all the way down. That's why. Okay, we'll get this one flipped over. This is going to be tough. This is a big slab. Big slab. And I will show you why it cut the way it did. Because we were cutting in polymerized pitch the whole way down. And when you're cutting in that stuff, it's like cutting, I don't know any other way to explain it other than it's like cutting through epoxy or granite. Very, very hard. Yeah, it was all through here, all down the end here. There's some cool grain for sure, but that's why it cut so hard down here too. So I'll show you the slab and the other slab. It came out, it looked pretty cool, but it was definitely a pusher. So if you see the color where my finger's going here, around there, and around where that crotch figure is, all around there, it looks like the wood's almost wet. Well, that is hard, almost polymerized sap right there. You can see some right there. You can see this tinge of it through the middle there. And then down the other end, we had it too. And that cuts really, really hard. And what little bit isn't polymerized is sticky. So you can see it here. And that stuff is like, if you banged it with a hammer, it would like break like, what's the stuff that the mosquitoes and stuff are in on Jurassic Park, like ebony? It breaks like that. Let's take a look at how smooth it cut. And I did see where, when I was having so much trouble getting the toe to keep up going through here, and I kind of see why, I did let the heel get ahead because it just ran down that loop there, and especially as it got more narrow, it ran ahead, and then I had to straighten out. So you can see some saw marks here. Now, these are not ridges, they're just saw marks. Then there is a pretty good little dig. Now, this is a ridge. This is not a ridge like you would see on your bandsaw mill, but a dig in from when I was going like this with the saw, which is why we try not to do that. Down here, I kept it pretty straight. It's not the smoothest cut. It's not the best cut. It didn't go the best. It didn't feel the best. It wasn't a whole lot of fun. It did get done. It got done in almost the same amount of fuel as a normal cut, which probably is only because the chain's sharp. If that chain was dull, or even like marginally dull, that would have been a miserable cut. I would have had to have pressure on it the whole way. I'd have been fighting it the whole way. So I got lucky that I sharpened before that cut. I am going to check out the teeth. I am going to see what my next cut looks like here. And I'm probably going to get set up and make another cut. I'm probably going to kick some of my sawdust out of the way because I'm getting kind of low. I really would like to get this thing up off the ground. Problem is that the way the bottom is, it's going to sit really funky. So if you see how it's got the big foot that I ripped off it right there, and that's a chunk that's sitting over there if you look past the ladders in my firewood pile. And then it tips up on the end there. So it is going to sit really funky, or I'd probably set it up on my sawmill. Still pretty thick there. And you can see we're coming down on the end. So we got that nice kind of sharp end there. That's really good for starting the saw because the blade will go in underneath it before it engages. So it gives you a nice flat surface to start on, which is kind of cool. And these are going to get smaller and smaller and smaller as we go. I'm going to lose size down there, and I'm kind of, well, I'm still losing size here. Let's look at the other side. Yeah, I'm pretty much losing size as I go the whole time now. So they're all going to get a little more narrow. This down here, they're going to kind of stay a little bit consistent. You can see that edge drops off pretty straight. And this one kind of tapers in for 6 inches and then kind of flares out a little bit again. So it's not going to get fun. It's not going to get like a normal slab when you get down to the bottom and you end up with a cut that's only 12, 16 inches wide. This one's going to stay pretty wide. So I'm going to take as many slabs out of this as I can. But I'm going to have to get myself all geared up to go, and I don't want to have to push on the thing real hard. I would much rather have that up at waist height, so I'm like this. Be a lot more fun than sitting down on the ground and have my arms extended down like that. I do have one set of heavy duty sawhorses down here. I could set it up on those. I'd set up on these, but it'd be way too high. And those are plenty strong enough for that, but they're way too high. So I think I'm probably going to grab the machine and see if I can get that log set up on top of those sawhorses. And that'll be a lot more fun pushing on it. So the difference is that I'll be pushing like this. It'll be up at chest height or just a little below chest height, kind of in this area as I go along, instead of kind of where I am now, kind of with my arms down like that, trying to keep pressure on it. And that really wears your shoulder out. So, yeah, being honest, it wasn't the most fun cut. Didn't cut the smoothest. Wasn't a whole lot of fun, but there was a lot going on in that log for that to happen. So right now we're looking at a slab on the top here that's almost a consistent, it's probably over 36 all the way down. That end down there was like 43 and a half, 44, 45. This end is not too far from that now. And in the middle it tapers in a little bit, but that's probably above 36 or very close to 36. So these are really, really big pieces. I don't know if I get my foot in there for scaled. So you can see how wide they are, how big they are. But yeah, I'm going to get at the next one. And for now, thanks for the watch. If you got any questions, hit me up. If you want to learn about chainsaw milling, it's probably the video to watch, because if you start like this, you'll have fun when you mill little ones. For now, for myself, this Pirate Solutions out.